Well, France 24's Emmanuelle Chaze is at the Green Party headquarters. Emmanuelle, thanks for joining us tonight. Give us a sense of what the mood is like over there.
Well, the mood was very feisty tonight. There was a lot of satisfaction from the Greens supporters for that score. This is historically the best result. That's something that Annalena Baerbock also said. The Greens had never had that amount of voters voting for them, around 14%, nearly 15%, according to the projections. Of course, there's also a little bit of disappointment, because a few months ago, well, the Greens were actually set to fare as high as 24-25%, and a succession of mishaps, of miscommunications, of mistakes made by Annalena Baerbock, who took responsibility for them, also didn't help to keep those voters' intention up until election day. But it also has to be said that, Annalena Baerbock was twice as much as any other candidate the target of disinformation, the target of fake news, which also didn't help the Greens to keep the momentum they had a few months ago only.
Now, I guess you touched on that just now. There was a lot of emphasis on climate change, and it felt as though the Greens could really capitalize on this. And as you say, they have performed very well on the whole. But it didn't really seem to translate into votes, all of this. I mean, why didn't voters come out and vote for essentially the climate change party?
Well, you have to keep in mind that here in Germany, there's a lot of voters who are elderly voters, for whom the preoccupation will be more economic than it is about climate change, and the younger generations, the generations of people we've seen, industries protesting along, for example, Fridays for Future. The younger generations do tend to vote for the Greens. This is something that Karin Göring-Eckardt, who's the co-leader of the Greens at the German Parliament, said tonight this was a generational vote. So we see, of course, the traditional party, the Conservatives, the Social Democrats, still coming out first in the polls, but still there is some momentum for the Greens. There are more voters, more younger voters, who will play a role in the years to come, in the elections to come, and we can expect the Greens to fare better at the next elections. Having said that, the Greens are now the third political force, and Annalena Baerbock also said tonight, for the first time, the Greens came up as a leading political presence in the country, and she's determined to make the Greens a part of a coalition, and to make climate change the main issue that the German government, will deal with for the years to come.
Okay, Emmanuelle Chaze, thank you very much for that. Emmanuelle there speaking to us from Berlin. And that's it from us.